Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of June 29th through July 5th. And during that time, we'll have a waxing crescent moon. And that, of course, is a really good time of heightened senses. It's a good time to buckle down and get things done. Focus on those new projects and things that you've just started and, live up to your own expectations. We then will also have the first quarter moon, and that comes in on the 3rd or the 4th. And that can be a time where you feel very impulsive and impatient and yeah, like your mind's very active. Of course, that coincides with July 4th, so hopefully you don't have to work that day or focus on anything too heavily, and you can just enjoy your day. And then we move into the waxing gibbous, which of course is kind of back to work and the ability to focus. So keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Sagittarius. So, of course, please keep that in mind. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. All right. And your overall energy for this reading is look at the bigger picture. Okay. Let's see what the Sagittarius Collective has going on for this week. And I would like to say that since my readings are free to you, all that I ask in return is that you hit that subscribe button. It really helps my channel. It's super easy for you to do. And I will remind you that you do need to be logged into YouTube or Google to subscribe to channels. There was a time when I didn't know that. And, of course, my adult children had to explain that to me and say, Mom, before I really knew how YouTube worked, and I would just randomly watch videos. But now I've got all my subscriptions all lined up, things that I watch, and a YouTube channel. How crazy is that? Anyway, if you have been a subscriber, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming back and helping me build a community here and letting me do what I love to do on YouTube. So, all right, my weekly reminder for the week, Sagittarius, is that you keep a spiritual journal. Sometimes we don't recognize the patterns that are evolving in our life when it comes to our spiritual experiences. So keeping track of those things, and it could be like things that you learn or synchronicities that you've had, dreams, encounters, just those different things, things that are guiding you to be a better you. And it's just good to be able to look back on those things and say, hey, look, I learned this thing here and now I've incorporated it into my life, and look how much better my life is. Or, hey, I learned this thing and I forgot to incorporate it in my life, or it didn't stick and maybe I'd like to try it again. So it's just good to be able to look back on those things that you're learning, those patterns that happen. It could just be an important tool as we're evolving spiritually. So that's just my weekly reminder to you. So, okay, without further ado, Sagittarius, let's get to your reading. June 29th through July 5th. Look at the bigger picture. All right. All right, present energy, 8 of Wands. So, bigger picture for you first involves just things coming in quickly. This could be messages coming in. This could just be rapid change, just things happening, things that are going on, a little bit of chaos, just a little bit of just things coming in very, very quickly. It doesn't have to be negative, doesn't have to be positive. It can kind of be either or in the middle, just things going on very, very quickly. Your current situation is the Ace of Pentacles. So it could be, something work related. Ace of Pentacles is kind of a new financial opportunity. It could be that all of a sudden work is just very, very busy. It could be there's something going on with your living situation. Maybe you're buying some furniture and you're making decisions very quickly, or you're, redecorating and making those kinds of decisions, or moving. But it is something to do with your material world, it looks like. So again, look at the bigger picture. If it's work related and things are picking up and getting really, really busy, enjoy that. Get in there, make that money, do the thing that you do. It'll probably calm down at some point. So isn't that the way that works? Kind of ebb and flow of money, right? At the root of your situation, more swords. So feeling like you against the world here, or wands, not swords, with the 7 of Wands. So yeah, this could just be like, getting it done. Again, lots of things coming in very quickly. It does appear to be, like I said, material or financial in nature. In your recent past, is the Knight of Wands. So boy, lots of wands, lots of, this is something about something that you're super passionate about, and you've been moving forward. There's been action and in this realm anyway that's going on. But yeah, look at all the wands on the table. Amazing. Um, so yeah, lots of action. Again, we're going to look at the bigger picture. It might be that you're having to focus in right now. Like I said, if it's work related, just do what you got to do and get through it. Right on your mind this week. Okay, more pentacles is your financial stability. So, yeah, if things are happening rapidly and things are very, very busy, then that's going to be a positive thing. You're going to be like, oh, let me bank all this money and get things saved up and ready to go, and work on your stability when it comes to that area. Get some money saved, get some bills paid off, because if it's just a really good time for you to do that. What is just ahead of you is the Lovers card. So interesting this week. This is, not only a card about lovers and relationships, but kind of duality and how things work. You might be kind of examining some of that this week, or this could just be, an indicator that you're going to have a very busy week, but it's going to pay off because maybe you and your loved one are planning for, maybe some kind of vacation or trip that's coming up, or just a night out together. So that this is going to help with this, whatever this rapid, these rapid things coming in your pentacle world. It's just going to be a good boost for, any relationship that you're in, which is awesome. For some of you, if you're not in a relationship already, it might be that this work this rapid work cycle, or things that are happening very quickly, might lead to you meeting someone. So that's very interesting too. In your advice position, King of Pentacles, perfect. So, King of Pentacles is just the knowledge of how to do the thing that's bringing those pentacles in, how to be stable. This is how to just manage all of that. So, that's your advice, is just manage it like a king, baby. Get that coin, and you know what to do with it. You know where to put it. You know where to save it. You know where to put it towards a vacation or a fun night out or something to do that's fun. But you also know to be stable and very responsible with it as well, which is very awesome. What is beyond your control this week is the Eight of Cups, which is kind of just moving through the future, moving on to something. Was this not an eight also? Yeah. So now, also, this is an 88, which look up angel number 88. But anytime I see eights, of course, I think of infinity, and I think of money and abundance, and how, how that's just it's a constant flow. And having two eights in a reading, I like that a lot for your money. You may want to pick up a lottery ticket this week too. See what happens there. Let's see. Secret desire, what you're trying to avoid, is the Fool card. So maybe it's your secret desire to be off on a new journey with this, or you're kind of trying to avoid that. You're like, I don't really have time for this new thing because I'm very busy right now. But who has more success than someone that's very busy and very good at what they do? So so that's kind of your big question, is do you want a new journey when it comes to this, or are you trying to avoid that? Only you can answer that question. But so that's what you have to ask yourself, is this success bringing you to a place where you can do a new journey? Is this maybe moving into a management position at a job that you're very capable of handling and dealing with, that someone may recognize that and say, hey, we want to move you up to this position to do that. And you need to just ask yourself, is that something you want, or something you don't want? You need to ask that question of yourself. In your outcome position, more wands. Look at all the wands here. So the Six of Wands, and this is like a little celebration. This is you being celebrated by others. So, wow. I mean, I think, Sagittarius, this is a good week for you. There's so many wands on the table. We've got the 88 combination going on, which is amazing. I think things are just really good and balanced right now in your life when it comes to, the romantic side of your life. You're great there. You're going to, again, use these pentacles and the stability and this hard work that you're doing. You're going to put it towards something. And I do almost see like a vacation for some of you, that plan a fun trip. The stuff that's coming in quickly is making you some money. That's great. What's hidden from you this week is the Knight of Swords. So what do we have here? We have the Knight of Wands. So look at the different. So the Knight of Swords is kind of And I call this kind of our crazy horse. We look at the horses on the knights to kind of determine what's going on in the card. And this is about air. This is about a message that comes in very quickly. This is about, think about your mind racing and acting very quickly. And that's hidden from you this week because in your recent past, you have gallantly and not as crazily, this horse is going quick, but he's not as quick. Like, look at the two difference. Look at the, this one's moving. Believe me, he's going in quick on the thing that he loves to do, but he's not like the Knight of Swords that's, you know, just freaked out about, whatever. That makes any sense to you. Makes sense to me. Anyway, yeah, you've got some celebration coming up here. All the wands in here, lots of pentacle activity, but also thinking about the future and kind of moving towards and asking this big question, do you want a new journey out of this? Or are you fine where you are? And which is fine. If you are, that's great. You can stay right where you are. No need to make a move if you don't want to. All right, let's get some final words here. We'll start with the Soul Oracle deck. Final message here for Sagittarius. Let's see, June 29th through July 5th, Sagittarius. All right. Love your spirit. Yeah, because your spirit is what's bringing you to do the thing that you do that's bringing you all this success. So that's pretty awesome. This is a new deck we're going to pull from this week. They're called the Self-Care Wisdom cards. And, well, some of them are upside down there. This deck got in my path this past week, and I thought, let's add these to the readings. I love them. I love the art on them. I love the messages, but they're about self-care. So let's find out. So how should Sagittarius be taking care of themselves through this, what appears to be a pretty busy time? Just kind of buckling down and getting some work done, getting a lot of work, a lot of accolades as well. How should they be taking care of themselves? And the card here is beauty. And the card says, today you are a curator of beauty. You are blessed with moments that let you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that all is well in the world. So that's very nice. I love that. And maybe that's your job. Some of you may be actual curators of beauty. It may be something that that you help people feel more beautiful. You do something, in that realm that makes people feel that way. And people are recognizing that. And it looks like you're very busy this week. So that's pretty awesome too. So Sagittarius, I wish you the best of luck with this reading, with everything that goes on with you this week. It looks like a pretty mellow week. Don't forget to look at the bigger picture, even though you're kind of busy. It's making you a little money, and that's good. And it's getting you recognition, and it puts you in a place where you have a choice here to decide if you want to go on a new journey with this and maybe go a little bit bigger, or if you want to stay where you are, which is also fine. But do love your spirit, and do, remember to understand that you're the curator of beautiful things, and that's a beautiful message, I think. So I do appreciate your time here with me today. And again, I do hope there was something you can take away and use. I post readings every week, so come back next week. We'll see if this energy continues or if there's something completely new here for you. Also, once again, if you like my channel, please like and subscribe. It really helps my channel, but also it'll help you find me next week. So thanks so much, Sagittarius, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.